Today we will speak of your efforts to break free from the old paradigm that you seem to be surrounded by on all sides. And we say seem to be, because that is what is being made most evident to you, while the evidence of anything else is not apparent at all. There is a manufactured phenomenon in your societies, many of them called news. First, please realize that it is a manufactured phenomenon. This means that someone has dreamed it up. This means that someone is very likely benefiting from it, and that, dear friends, is probably not you. It was noticed at some point that bad news got everyone's attention. Of course it did. Long ago such knowledge saved your lives many times. But the studious application of this understanding of humanity has been cultivated and applied for quite a long time now, in order to achieve and maintain control of large populations. It has been refined into a very effective science, and all the more so since the advent of what you term mass media. A large portion of the populace has now begun to understand this. But even so, the extent to which these media have been used, and the methods involved, are barely understood. And it is very likely that if one were to try to explain these things, it would be some time before anyone would choose to listen and believe them. Even though so many do understand the likelihood of this, the greatest percentage of those who have access to these media still choose to immerse themselves in them daily. For many, it takes up a huge part of their waking time. For many, it is their greatest source of information. Please understand that this fact is known and taken full advantage of. Now, why do we, who usually deal in much more positive subjects, choose to address this? We do so because you are in the throes of what might be called a final battle. You are being pulled this way and that, every time the situation seems to require it. Even the knowing of this can be used to produce frustration and dejection. You are seldom ever given a tidbit of good and happy news. Well, we are here to tell you that the truth is that you are actually surrounded with an almost overwhelming amount of good and happy news. Beside the fact that most of the events of most people's lives are far from negative, the actuality is very positive. Consider the weddings, the parties, the births, the celebrations, and more, that make up a great deal of the landscape of your lives. That is what is actually around you, not the events that are placed into your faces through technology each day. The good things happen to billions of you each day. And they are not a very large part of what is called news. And we want you to understand something that is very much not being seen. The reason that there is so much of this negativity being waved in front of you lately is that there is a losing of control. There is a desperation. You, and we mean the collective you that you truly are waking out of your trance. You have decided that it is time. You have determined that this is enough, and in fact is too much. And seen from that perspective, so much bad news is really good news. It would mean that you were winning, except we will tell you that you have already won. And so we come to the end of this little message. There is one point that we would make before we end it. There is an off switch on your devices. Better yet, they can be unplugged. Some of what is done is not dependent upon their being switched on. So unplug yourselves. Go do something enjoyable. Keep raising your frequencies. You will feel better, and you will be doing your world a service, even though very few of those around you will understand that. Be in joy. Be at peace. Love those around you. Love those who are not around you. Go for it.